and welcome to Magic in the Middle. I'm your host, Jessica Vitalis, and I'm going to start this month's book talk a little differently than usual. I'm going to list the top 3 reasons that you should read Blackbird Blue Road, which is a novel by Sofiya Pasternack. Reason number 1 that you have to read this story is that it will captivate you from the very first line. Seriously, this book starts out, "I have to cut off Pessa's finger today." It instantly brought to mind one of my very favorite books, The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, and I knew right away that I was in terrific hands. Now, reason number 2 to read this book, Demons and Angels of Death. Oh, and also half demons and kidnappers, but I digress. The Jewish mythology and the history in this book is smart and fascinating, and it adds so many layers of nuance and meaning to this beautifully told story. The third and final reason you have to read this book is simple. Baklava. Trust me, you're going to be drooling by the time you finish reading this book. In fact, you're probably going to want to save yourself the trouble and make sure you have some on hand to nibble on before you even start reading. So in case it's not obvious that this is a clear your schedule because you won't want to set this book down kind of situation, let me tell you a little bit more. Pessa is Ziva's twin brother. He is suffering from what the reader eventually figures out is leprosy, and he's been shunned by every member of his relatively affluent family. Every member except his loving and devoted sister, who is pretty sure that she's immune to the disease since she slept in the same room with him for years without ever catching it. Ziva is fiery and she's bold and she's absolutely devoted to her brilliant twin, and she's determined to do everything she can to help him find a cure for his disease. So when their family eventually decides to send him away to a colony, she loads him in the family wagon and they flee. It's not necessarily a surprise when they're kidnapped, but it's definitely a surprise when they end up joining forces with a boy who is part demon. It's an even bigger surprise when he offers to lead them to a city where it's believed that no one can die ever. But with a literal angel of death hot on their heels, it's not clear that they're going to make it in time. This story is smart and it's captivating, and I love the note at the end that helps readers understand the history woven into this story. So make sure you pick up a copy of Blackbird Blue Road and let me know if you love it as much as I do. That is it for this month. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please join me again next month for more Magic in the Middle.